Welcome back, guys. Hope you're all excited to get into your level ups.
I've been waiting all week, Ben. Let's do it.
Level 4 seems awesome. I'm ready.
Well, before we do that, go ahead and do our shout-outs, Joe.
This is Jorkus Rosie Bottom reporting once again from Phandelver, this time in the Stonehill Inn. Our first comment is from D. Lawrence. They're just happy to see all of us having a fun time in the last session. I think we all earned it after all that traveling. Next up, we got Shadow Emblem, who said they were always shipping Barbin and Sister Gariel. Hashtag BayRail. I made that one up. What do you guys think?
Very thoughtful of you, Joe.
Weirdo.
They also think Donnie or Sildar should take that tough feat in order to become super beefy.
I guess we'll see when we get to our turns.
Last one is from Zathurius. Like most of us, they think that Sildar must have broken his oath, specifically by letting the Red Wizard leave.
I'm sure more will come to light soon. And thank you, Joe. You want to start us off with doing your level up first?
Sure thing, I'm gonna roll for my HP first. Damn, that's only a 2 plus my modifier of 3. It's okay because I now get a new cantrip, another spell, and can replace one of my old spells. For my cantrip, I'm taking Message. That will let me basically make phone calls to you guys using the old string and cup method. I'll be replacing my mage armor since I get that from my staff, and I'll be picking up 2 level 2 spells. I'll be taking Hold Person, which allows me to potentially render my foes paralyzed, essentially a death sentence. Then I'll be taking Invisibility because it's awesome. Finally, I chose a feat, which is Bountiful Luck. This lets me, once per round as a reaction, allow an ally within 30 feet of me to re-roll an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. It's kind of like the lucky trait for halflings that I keep forgetting I actually have. Oh yeah, it has to be a natural one for them to re-roll it though.
You mean to tell me you've forgotten about an entire trait of yours that lets you re-roll when you get a natural one?
Yeah, it's okay though. I'll remember it going forward.
All right then. Looks pretty solid, Joe. You want to go next, George?
Sure, I'll roll my HP too. Not too good either. 3 plus my modifier of 4. I now get new wild shapes, such as a bear and a crocodile. There's also some other cool options, like poisonous snakes, that I'm excited to check out. What I'm really excited about is the feat I chose, which is Fey Touched. First off, I can now buff my wisdom up to 18, but I also can learn a first level spell. I chose Bless so I can help buff the party a bit more in case Bill can't.
Awesome, George.
I'll do mine next. That's a 6 for my HP, plus my modifier of 3. Ben was nice enough to let me change one of my cantrips, so I took off Message and got Booming Blade. Now my melee attacks can leave lingering thunder damage that triggers when they move. For my new spell, I took Fog Cloud. It may seem kind of mid, but wait till you see this. I'm going with Fighting Initiate for my feat. This allows me to take Blind Sense as a trait. So now I can cast Fog Cloud on an area. And although others inside it will be blinded, I can fight normally without any drawbacks.
Whoa.
Wow, that's really cool, Barry.
Hell yeah, sounds dope. I'm gonna roll my HP as well. I also got a 6, and I have a modifier of 2. I decided I'll be taking that tough feat, so now my HP is buffed even more to a total of 45 now.
Damn.
Wow, nice.
That's all for me, though. Fighter is really simple.
Ben simply just told me to level up like I usually would, but I got a feeling it's not that simple. I'll be rolling my HP. That's a total of 6 with my modifier. I'm going with Martial Adept for my feat, which lets me get 2 maneuvers from the Battlemaster subclass. The first I chose is Commanding Presence. I can roll a D6 superiority die and add it to an Intimidation, Persuasion, or Performance check. Then I took Precision Attack, which lets me add a superiority die to an attack roll. That's all for me, but I'm sure Ben has something planned for the future.
Maybe. You'll have to wait and find out. With all your level ups finished, let's begin tonight's session. Last we were with our party, the group made their way back to Old Owlwell to speak to Hamoon and inform him of their success on the quests he gave them. While Barbin, Sildar, and Grelmir spoke to Hamoon, Jorkus snuck into his tent while Donnie stayed back to hide. Jorkus narrowly escaped in time after managing to rob Hamoon of some coin and, most importantly, a ring of protection. With the quests completed, Hamoon left the area on his own accord after finding out the knowledge he was seeking could not be uncovered here, and the party made their way back to Phandelver. The group was greeted by the townsfolk and participated in a raucous evening of games, drinks, and socializing to celebrate their victories away from town and their safe return. The next day, the group split to inform some townsfolk that they had completed their quest, with Gralmere making his way over to the Alderleaf farm in a hurry after learning he could potentially find a way to Cragmaw Castle. Kelly Alderleaf informed the panicked Gralmere that the group should speak to Reidoth, a druid in Thundertree, who would likely know of the castle's location. On their way back to the inn to pack for their next journey, Sildar began to feel ill, and eventually collapsed after making it to the doorstep of the Stonehill Inn. The party quickly brought him upstairs and began to assess the situation, realizing that there was likely nothing they could do and unsure of what was the source of Sildar's sudden distress. We now pick up with the party, tired after a night of poor rest from constantly waking to check on Sildar. You all lay in his bedroom, sprawled across the floor, and nestled into corners, finding whatever comfort you could during last night's hectic events. Sildar, you wake first, your body and bed sheets drenched in sweat, and with those lingering pains in your chest. They have subsided from what they were yesterday, but you can still feel a deep weight inside you. What would you like to do?
Geez, I'll slowly sit up, I guess. I'll quietly stand up and walk to the mirror in the room.
You approach the mirror, expecting to be horrified at what you'll see given how you felt yesterday. You inspect yourself, looking into your eyes, across your body, and your throat, though nothing seems to be changed except for the excessive sweating from your rough night.
This makes me fear for the worst. I think what I'll do is leave a note on the bed. I'll write saying I will meet the group at the edge of town.
You quickly write up a short notice to your fellow party members before gathering your belongings and suiting back up into your armor. As you make your way down the stairs, you remember the events of yesterday evening, the immense pain within you, the sea of people gathering like a wake of vultures, eyeing you on your deathbed, the shadows throughout the hall pulling at you like thousands of undead souls. You shudder, yet make your way through the town and out to the main pathway out. Nobody utters a word to you, but watches on in concern as you exit Phandelver once more. You wake next, Gralmere. Your night was flooded with anxiety, and that feeling has yet to pass. It only escalates as you see Sildar is not in the room with you all, and neither are any of his belongings, except for a single piece of parchment left on his bed.
I'll pick it up and read it. Realizing he has left, I'll wake the others. You all need to wake up. Sildar has left town.
Wait, why?
Not sure, but he left a note saying he'll be waiting for us at the beginning of the Tribor Trail.
I didn't think he'd be so eager to set out for Thundertree, considering he looked like death yesterday.
Well, if he's waiting for us, let's get a move on. I'll grab my things, Ben, and make my way out towards the trail.
Same here, I guess.
You go with them, Gralmere. I'll make sure our rooms are paid for, and then I'm going to collect our reward for clearing out the Wyvern Tor.
Sounds good. Don't take too long.
I'll go downstairs to see Toblin, Ben.
A look of worry stretches across his face as you make your way to the counter.
Hey, Barbin. I saw Sildar leaving early this morning. I called out to him, but he didn't respond. You know where he went?
Yeah. We're going to be out of town for a little bit. I'll slide him 5 gold, Ben. We just need one room, but here. Thank you for your help yesterday, and I hope you can understand why Donnie was yelling so much.
Oh, are you sure? The rooms cost only a fraction of this.
I'm sure. I'll make my way outside, Ben.
You're going to see the town master, right?
No, actually, I lied to Gralmere. I'm going to the shrine real quick.
Oh, alrighty. You make your way to the Shrine of Luck in the center of town. You notice people watching you from a distance as you walk along the dirt path. Some talk in hushed voices, while others look around, seeing if they're the only one curious after yesterday's events. As you reach the shrine, you find yourself instinctively sitting before, you close your eyes and begin to pray. As you finish, you open your eyes to see Sister Garael, watching as you stand up.
I see your party is leaving again, yes?
We are, I'm worried. So I figured I should maybe stop by the shrine.
It's normal to worry. I find myself worried from time to time. If you have faith, though, it can help to alleviate some of that worry.
I think it's more than just being worried. I'm scared.
The sister moves closer before folding her hands over yours.
Then I shall pray for you, Barbin. I hope I can alleviate your worries.
Thank you. I'll look to her hands and squeeze them before going to meet the others at the edge of town.
The walk to the trail takes a solid 2 hours, Barbin. It provides plenty of time for you to reflect on your journey thus far. You are deep in thought throughout the entire time, only waking from your trance as the other party members come into view.
You get our share from the townmaster, Barbin?
No, I got stuck talking to Toblin and figured I'd just head here instead.
I'm insight checking him, Ben. Fuck, I got a 7.
I beat you and I only got a 9.
The moment seems more awkward than anything else as Donnie eyes up Barbin, who looks more confused than anything.
You two finished? The journey to Thundertree takes about 3 more days, so we should get going.
How are you feeling? You had us really worried, man.
I'm okay now, I think. I still feel a bit sick, but I'm sure it'll pass.
Just make sure to let us know if you need a break.
I'm guessing you'll be leading again, Gralmir, so go ahead and make the same rolls as usual for traveling.
A 7 and 6 for the day and night, and a 24 on perception.
Next day.
A 16 and 7, and an 18 on perception.
Last one.
10 and 3, and then 15 perception.
On the first day of your journey, the air is crisp, and the forest around you is filled with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. You follow a narrow, well-trodden path through the sparse woods, which gradually opens up to reveal a more defined trail. The trail meanders through a mixed landscape, offering glimpses of distant hills and the occasional stream. You pass a few small, abandoned homesteads that hint at the region's once bustling past. The terrain is relatively easy to traverse, but you all remain cautious, keeping an eye out for any signs of danger until camping for the night. The next morning, your party packs up camp and starts the journey north along the high road. The road itself is well-maintained and relatively flat, making for a faster and easier travel compared to the winding paths of the previous day. Your group enjoys the openness of the road, with occasional breaks to admire the surrounding countryside. The road is fairly populated, with travelers such as yourselves making their way towards where you had come from. Your party exchanges friendly greetings with some of these travelers, though continues on until evening. You find a suitable spot to camp not far off the road, but still to be somewhat secluded. The night is relatively peaceful, with the distant sounds of the road providing a reassuring backdrop. Do any of you want to converse with each other?
I'm going to go up to Donnie and pull the jeweled box out from my pack.
What is it, Yorkus?
I want you to have this. You need it more than I do.
Seriously? You're the one who snuck in there and got it, though.
Yeah, seriously. I also wanted to ask you about something. I'll hand him the ring. I wanted to ask you about something back from when we first arrived in Phandelver, that night of the bar fight.
I'll hold the ring in my hand, not yet putting it on, and just observing it as I speak to Jorkus without looking directly at him. Yeah, what about it?
I already know you've had issues back where you're from with bandits and all that, but how did that lead to you meeting us all at Neverwinter?
I'll continue to stare at the ring as I talk. I'm from Waterdeep, and I have a lot of debt there.
Well, how much? I'm sure I could help you out.
I can't even remember. I just hope that when I return eventually, Xanathar is lenient.
Well, I ain't never heard of him, but I'm sure I can help you out, Donnie. With the ring we have now, we'll be able to collect a lot of gold from bad guys.
Where are you from, Yorkus?
I'm from Greenest. It's a small hamlet southeast of Baldur's Gate.
Sounds like a nice place, but, hey, I'm still gonna keep to that promise, by the way, to help your town out once we finish all this.
And I'll promise to face Xanathar with you. We're a team, buddy.
Thanks, Jorkus. It means a lot.
Sure thing, bud. Good night.
I'm going to go away from the camp a little bit, Ben. I'll find a small spot behind a rock and sit down to start praying.
I'd like to follow Barbin, Ben. I'll clear my throat as I get closer to him. Hope I'm not interrupting, Barbin. I had hoped to speak to you about something, or I guess someone really.
Is it Gralmir? He's been seeming even more off than you.
It is, and I can't understand why he is so stressed over reaching Cragmaw Castle as soon as possible.
Well, why don't we ask him?
I'm not sure if it's a good idea.
Only one way to find out. Let's go see what he's up to.
Gralmir would be sitting under a tree, sketching something in a small journal he has.
Hey, Gralmir, Sildar and I wanted to ask you about something.
I'll close the journal and set it aside. Sure thing.
I'm sure you know that we know something is up. What's going on recently?
I'm just worried, aren't you all?
But you seem more than worried. It's like you're trying to race to Cragmaw.
Well, we're almost certain that Gundren is there. And that means the map to Wave Echo Cave is probably there too. I'm just hoping we aren't too late.
So is it Gundren you're stressing so much over, or is it the map?
That map is property of the dwarves. I can't let it fall into enemy hands.
Insight check?
Insight check.
Haha, go ahead, guys. You roll persuasion or deception, Growlmere. Just don't say which.
16 total.
Haha, same here.
I got a 3, damn.
The days of stress are showing, and even Growlmere knows he isn't able to put up a good facade.
Okay, it's about Gundren. We're good friends, and I just want to make sure he's okay. I thought we would have learned the location of the castle by now, but we still haven't.
I understand. And thank you for telling us. We'll do everything we can to help you get to him as soon as possible.
I'm going to return to the rock I was behind, Ben, and pray before going to sleep.
Before you go to sleep as well, Sildar, what do you think was the cause of you collapsing back in town?
I fear the worst, honestly. I've never seen it myself, but I've heard stories of paladins who have been forsaken. I think I have made an error in my judgment, and I'm sure I'll face more harsh consequences in the near future.
What judgment, though? You've always been fair and kind.
Maybe too much. Perhaps allowing the Red Wizard to leave was what sealed my fate. Now I must face whatever comes next.
We'll face it with you, don't worry.
Good night, Growlmere.
On the final day of your journey, your party continues north along the high road. Gradually, the trail becomes an old, overgrown lane, winding between dilapidated buildings choked in vines and brush. Ahead of you, in the middle of the settlement, rises a steep hill, upon which stands a stone tower with a partially collapsed roof and an adjoining cottage. A dirt road hugs the base of the hill and wends its way between old stone houses, many of which are roofless ruins with interiors open to the weather. Other buildings appear more or less intact. The whole place is eerily silent. A wooden sign is nailed to a post nearby. It reads, "Danger, plant monsters, and zombies. Turn back now."
Plant monsters? Give me a break. I'm going up to the closest house, Ben.
This small house appears to be in better condition than the ruined and dilapidated structures nearby. The doors are reinforced with heavy iron bands, and thick shutters protect the windows.
Why is this place all locked up? I'll knock on the door, Ben. Hello? Anyone here?
You hear shuffling before a man comes to the door. He is a stocky build and is sporting a long brown beard with hair just as long.
What is it?
What's up with the sign? Plant monsters?
Plant monsters.
Would you happen to be Reidoth? We're looking for Cragmaw Castle. Kelly and Alderleaf said you may know where it is.
So, could you tell us where?
No.
The figure then moves away from the door.
That went well.
What a pain in the ass.
As your group stands at the door conversing, you all begin to hear shuffling from the side of the building.
What's that guy doing? I'm gonna go see, Ben.
As you peer through the gaps in the door, Barbin, you see Reidoth is still inside.
That's not him, Donnie. Back up.
You turn the corner, Donnie, coming face to face with an undead husk, along with 5 more behind it. The creature smells foul, but also with a mix of soot and ash, which you notice covers its entire body.
Ah, fuck.
Roll for initiative, guys. You'll be surprised, Donnie.
I got a 12.
Same.
15 for me.
I got 6.
Me too.
All right, our order will be Yorkus, Barbin, Sildar, the zombies, Donnie, and then Growlmere. Get us started, Yorkus.
Okay, I'm going to move to get a view on the zombies and then twin cast Chaos Bolts. 1 towards the zombie in front and 1 up top. That's a 21 to hit and a 10.
Those both hit. These guys have an AC of 8.
Sweet. The zombie in front of Donnie is taking 13 fire damage, and the one up top is taking 15 fire damage. None of the attacks bounced.
Donnie, make a con save.
Great. What'd you do, Joe?
Whoopsie.
That's a 10.
A puff of ash covering the zombie in front of you is propelled into your face after Yorkus's attack. Thankfully, just before you breathe it in, you're able to turn away. Before you pass, Joe, roll wild magic.
A 4 and a 12. I'll pass.
I'll also move up and take a shot at the zombie in front of Donnie. Hopefully I can finish it off. 14 to hit and 11 damage.
A well-placed arrow to the brain takes the zombie down. Nice.
Go ahead, Sildar.
I'm gonna go finish off the other one that Jorkus hit. That's a 24 to hit and 10 damage.
Another zombie is cut down after a swift strike from Sildar. Anything else for you?
That's all. Bring on the zombies.
There will be 2 attacks against each of you 2. 1 against you will have advantage, Sildar. That's 1 hit on Donnie for 4 damage, and 2 hits against you, Sildar, for 4 as well.
Oh, these guys are weak as shit.
Okay, Donnie is skipped, so go ahead, Grelmir.
I'll move up and cast Moonbeam on the group of 3 zombies. A silvery beam of pale light shines down on the zombies, and on the start of their turn, they have to make a DC 14 con save.
Moonbeam, awesome. Anything else for you?
Nope, go ahead, Jorkus.
I'm going to cast a Chaos Bolt at the zombie in the very back. 17 to hit, and holy cow, that's 20 psychic damage, plus it bounces. Now that's a 23 to hit, and another 11 cold damage to the one in front of Sildar that's in the Moonbeam.
Those Chaos Bolts are doing really good today, Jorkus. Go ahead and roll Wild Magic.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Guessing you got a 1 from that reaction, so let's see what happens. Make a Wisdom save, Jorkus, unless you don't want to try to save against it.
No balls.
Bet, I'll let it happen.
After another wonderful display of power from Jorkus, you all watch as he is suddenly covered by a pink puff of smoke. As the smoke clears, you see a sheep.
Ha ha ha, what the hell?
Haha, that's a new one.
Great job, Jorkus.
Anything else for you?
Bah.
Before you go, Barbin, Sildar needs to make a con save from the ash.
That's a natural 17.
All right, you're good. Go ahead, Barbin.
That's a 14 to hit on the zombie not caught in the Moonbeam and a total of 18 damage.
The zombie is still standing, but barely hanging on.
Okay, I'll move behind these bushes and hide before I pass. That's a 16 on stealth.
I'm going to attack the zombie that Barbin just shot. An 11 to hit and 9 damage.
Finally, as you tear across the zombie, Sildar, it unnaturally stands back up, its undead fortitude on display.
Forgot that was a thing. Crap. Okay, I'll pass.
On the beginning of the zombie's turn, the 3 in the Moonbeam will roll their con save. The uninjured zombie succeeds, but the other 2 fail.
That's 14 damage, halved to the one who succeeded.
Nice. As the radiant light continues to pour down upon this group of zombies, 2 of them are turned to ash, unable to rise from their undead fortitude.
Nice work, Grelmir.
1 zombie each will attack you both. That's 1 hit on Sildar for 5 damage. Go ahead, Donnie.
I'll first attack the zombie in front of me. 23 to hit and 11 damage.
This zombie stays down for good.
I'm gonna action surge and go for the other one too. 21 to hit for 10 damage this time.
Once again, another zombie falls. And with that, our battle is over.
I'm going right back up to that door, Ben, and banging on it.
Was it you that put the sign up, Reidoth?
Aye, that was me.
Look, we see why you ignored us, probably hoping we would just leave. But we need to find where Cragmaw Castle is. Our friend is in danger. We can handle ourselves, as you can tell.
Fine.
Reidoth slowly opens the door, waving you all in before closing it behind you. Reidoth unfurls a map of the region, pointing out a location within the Neverwinter Woods.
I'll mark where it is on my map. Do you also know where Wave Echo Cave is? We need to get there before someone known as the Black Spider does.
He looks to you, a face of worry and concern.
I do, but we have more problems than that cave.
What problem could be bigger than people with bad intentions finding the location of the cave? There's powerful magic items there.
A dragon, that's what's more dangerous.
A what now?
Did you say a dragon?
He opens the door and steps outside, pointing to the large, ruined tower across the town.
Bad news in there. And I've been seeing folk in black masks and cloaks wandering through town as well.
You mean to tell us a dragon is nesting in that tower?
A green one. It's young, but it's a dragon still. You scare it off or convince it to leave, and I'll show you where the cave is.
Can we stay with you tonight, Reidoth? We can spend some time formulating a plan.
Reidoth, a man of few words, simply nods and heads back inside where he begins to cook a small meal for himself.
I think before we go and spend the night at Reidoth's, we should go find those figures in black masks he mentioned.
That's not a bad idea. Let's just be quiet, though. There's probably more zombies about.
Who wants to roll for perception?
Let me do it. I'm trying to find something while we're here.
I'll help to give him advantage.
Sweet, that's a natural 18.
You all pass by a handful of buildings as you traverse the town. At an intersection near the middle of the village, a narrow lane winds up the steep hillside to the north. Directly to the south is a ruined building that might have been a store or workshop. Webs stretch across the lane, from the building to the trees on the north side of the road.
Any people wandering about wouldn't be holed up in a place that has webs covering the door. Let's go around and keep checking.
As you all approach the town square, Donnie, you notice a sign that has fallen to the ground in front of one of the buildings. It reads, Dendrar, Herbs, and Alchemy.
There it is. You guys go continue looking. I gotta check something.
Go with him, Jorkus, just in case there's more zombies.
We'll start with those who continued into the town square. On the east side of town, the lane opens up to form a small square. Several ruined buildings surround the south side of the square, but a larger, intact structure to the north looks like a barracks. Another lane heads southeast around the hill in the middle of the town, and a third way meanders north. In the middle of the square, leaning to one side ever so slightly, is a weathered wooden statue of a warrior clutching a spear and shield. While in the square, Gralmir, you see flickers of light coming from inside a building just south of you.
I'll speak quietly. Barbin, can you go check that out?
I'll sneak up to a window, Ben.
Stealth check.
23.
You make your way to the building while your companions move out of sight of those inside. One small window faces the town square, and upon reaching the wall right below it, you hear voices inside.
Can I tell what they're saying?
Perception check.
Okay, that's a 15.
Although the full conversation is lost on you, you hear muffles inside about waiting for someone named Favrik to return. We'll now go to Donnie and Jorkus. As you both enter, this ruined shop is cluttered with sagging storage shelves and broken furniture. Shards of glass and pieces of pottery glint in the weeds and rubble next to rotted books and casks.
What are we doing here, Donnie?
I'm not surprised you've forgotten, Jorkus. It seems the others did as well. I'm gonna start looking under the rubble of shelves, Ben.
I have an idea, Donnie. What if I was to go invisible and investigate the tower?
By yourself?
Yeah, I think I could do it. I'm small and sneaky.
It may help us get a bit of leverage. I say we tell the others as well.
It doesn't take you long to find it. A mundane case, though still preserved after the destruction of the building.
What's that?
I'll open it up.
Carried within this ordinary-looking case lies an emerald pendant. The craftsmanship of the piece is quite the work of art, leading you to believe this piece was commissioned for a decent price. The large piece of emerald glitters like fresh grass, dewed after a cool spring night. A stark contrast to the general vibe of Thundertree.
How the hell did you know that was there?
Remember the lady we saved from the Red Brands? She said her family's shop had jewelry in it. This can definitely help in paying off my debt.
Oh yeah, that's right. Let's go see if the others found anything yet.
As the two of you begin to head to the door, a man in black robes with a black mask walks across the path. Upon realizing you two are in the shop, he gasps and begins to run north.
That's him! Hurry!
For those in the town square, you see a man wearing the clothing described to you by Reidoth heading directly towards you. Donnie and Jorkus are running shortly behind him.
Hold on, stop!
Cornered, the man looks back between your two groups, panting from the short run. He puts his arms out and says, "Please, no! I mean, no harm." Peering through the window, Barbin, you see the others inside stop talking. They begin to head outside in a hurry.
Shit, we got others coming, guys.
5 other people wearing the same attire as the one you cornered run around through the town square, now cornering you 3.
What are all you weirdos doing?
The one you first cornered speaks up. "We don't wish to fight, please. We only want to treat with the dragon."
Wait, really?
"Yes, we have gathered a small offering. If you could assist, maybe it would help us all."
This may be our best shot. Either we can work with them to kill it, or we can try to bribe it.
Are you Favrik?
Correct. Would you all consider helping us?
I think we should.
It's getting late, so maybe in the morning we can meet here again. Then we can discuss it further.
Favrik looks to you. A sound plan.
Before we go, though, what's with the masks?
It's from our religion, that's all, sir.
Weird. All right, let's head back.
You all make your way back to Reidoth's. You feel a small sense of optimism following your meeting with some others looking to take care of the dragon as well.
We found those people you were talking about, Reidoth. They also want to get the dragon to leave. We're hoping we can try to bribe it, or maybe even kill it.
We'll be meeting them in the morning out in the town square. Hopefully all goes to plan.
Well, I wish you luck.
Speaking of plan, Jorkus also had one.
I was thinking maybe I could go invisible and sneak up to the tower. I could get a good look at the place and the dragon.
Sounds risky.
It wouldn't be a bad idea, though, to know how big this thing is. Plus, maybe I'll find something we can use against it if need be.
How long can you be invisible for?
An hour. Plenty of time to go investigate while you all talk to those people in the town square.
I say we try it, guys.
Just be careful, Yorkus. Now let's all get some sleep.
You all lie down for the night, each of you filled with worry, anticipating your meeting with the dragon tomorrow. While the others eventually find sleep, Sildar, you can't, and you begin to feel a sense of tingling deep within your chest again.
Damn it, again?
The room begins to heat up, to the point where you can't stand it and walk outside to get fresh air. As you step outside into the cool night air, the moon casts a ghostly silver light over Reidoth's camp. Your gaze falls upon a figure leaning against the weathered wall of the building. The sight makes your heart skip a beat. You see an imposing figure shrouded in a malignant aura. His once glorious armor now bears the scars of corruption, its surfaces etched with dark runes that seem to writhe and twist under the moonlight. A crimson, spectral glow envelops him, casting a red-tinted shadow that dances eerily across the ground. This aura feels heavy and oppressive, as if it carries the weight of countless broken vows and unredeemed sins. His eyes, glowing with a fierce, otherworldly red light, burn through the darkness with an unsettling intensity. They seem to pierce directly into your soul, holding a gaze that is both penetrating and disquieting. The light within them is cold, devoid of warmth or compassion, and it flickers like a distant, malevolent flame. The knight's stance is languid, but there is an undeniable menace in his posture. He wears the remnants of his former glory like a shroud of shame, his once noble sigil now twisted and corrupted. His very presence radiates an aura of despair and lost honor, a palpable reminder of the oath he has forsaken. The night air grows heavy with the tension of his presence, and the darkness around him seems to pulse in rhythm with the red glow that surrounds him. This is no ordinary figure of the past. This is a being whose very essence has been consumed by his fall from grace, a knight now bound to the darkness he once swore to oppose.
You're him, aren't you?
I assume you know why I'm here.
I do.
Then you know the decision you are faced with.
I'll approach him.
What you expect to be an aura of intense heat is rather a cold void, the emptiness of the space around him, concentrated to a black hole of shadows and flame.
The gods may offer you their favor again one day, but I offer you mine, now.
How do I know they no longer favor me?
The figure reaches to your side, summoning what seems to be a plain steel sword from thin air. Then he speaks.
If you have faith in the gods still, then demonstrate their gifts.
I'll grip the sword, my hands sweating, and use my channel divinity sacred weapon on it.
Nothing happens.
Shit. I'll attempt to cast Bless on myself.
The knight watches on as again. Nothing happens.
There is your proof. The gods, as fickle as usual. They care not for accidental blunders or error of judgment. They care not for any of us. I do not fault you for your decisions. I value the choices you make, the choices of your own free will, without constraints and without guidelines.
I tried my best. I truly did.
Some gods don't care how you perceive yourself. A quote from you, if I remember correctly.
The knight stabs his sword into the ground.
Take up a new oath, Paladin. An oath of my design. An oath from the first true Oathbreaker.
I'll kneel.
The Oathbreaker knight pulls his sword back up and speaks your new oath to uphold. Once finished, he again speaks.
Arise, Sildar. Arise, knowing you can now make a true difference in the world.
He places his hand on your shoulder as you stand back up.
I'm certain we will meet again soon. Get some rest.
With that, you awake the next day, back in the house and with no further feelings of intense pain or heat. Now, a soft coldness, one that is more soothing. The others are already up and finishing preparing for the day.
Good morning, Sleepyhead. Come on, Jorkus already set out for the tower.
Oh, sorry. Let's get going.
You all make your way to the town square while Yorkus heads to the tower. Already waiting for your group is Fabric and the other members. They carry with them 3 diamonds, along with pouches of what you assume to be gold. He speaks as you all approach. Good morning. Are we ready?
Our halfling friend is invisible and checking out the tower. We're hoping he can get us some information before we all go. We told him we'd wait here for his return.
Fabric looks uneasy at you all. Very well. Let us hope he does not anger it. At the top of the hill stands a round tower with a cottage attached. Both are in good condition, although half of the tower's roof is gone. A door leads into the cottage, and several arrow-slit windows are visible in the tower. You can't help but notice an eerie quiet in the area, and a strange, acrid smell in the air.
I'm going to cast invisibility on myself. Here goes nothing. I'll go on into the cottage first.
Stealth check with advantage.
Shit, that's only a 9. Seriously, man.
You walk into the ruined cottage, accidentally knocking over a pot as you push open the door. You look around the room, though see nothing of value.
Shit, okay. Let's do this. I'm going to open the door to the tower.
Another stealth check.
Thank God, that's a 19 total.
You creak open the door that joins the cottage to the tower. Immediately, you see it. A body larger than any creature you've ever seen. Scales, the color of acid rain, and claws bigger than you. It seems you haven't awoken it for the time being.
Fuck. Okay, do I see anything of value?
You see an old wooden chest broken open on the tower floor, though getting to it means traversing the room.
Screw it, I'm going for it.
Another stealth check.
A 16, that's not bad.
You move as quiet as can be, avoiding the coins littering the floor and the webs threatening to grapple you in this death trap of a room. Just as you reach the chest, you trip for but only a moment. Then you hear it.
Trespasser, where are you?
Holy shit, I'm staying right where I am, Ben. You said the chest is open, Ben. Do I see anything of value?
You see 2 scrolls, a bunch of various coins, and silver goblets with gems encrusted into them.
Come out of the shadows. Are you a thief, or have you come to bargain?
Fuck this! I'm gonna quietly pick up the scrolls and book it out of this place.
Roll a stealth check, Yorkus.
18. Now get me the fuck out of here.
You quickly grab the scrolls, Yorkus, making sure to stay as quiet as you can for as long as you can. Before the dragon has time to react, you have begun to run out of the tower and are into the cottage. You feel the foundations of the tower start to tremble. The wooden supports inside snapping, the stone crumbling, and a voice rings out before the tower starts to collapse as the dragon takes flight.
Thief, you will all